Alright, minimum window substring. Let's get started. Hopefully I can pass this time because last time I already failed 3 challenges. Alright, so, okay, short question. Given a string S and a string T, find the minimum window in S which will contain all the characters in T in complexity big O-N. So they want us to solve this question in linear time. For example, we have S equal to whatever, T is blah blah blah, and the middle window is B, A, and C. So if there is no such window in S that covers all characters in T, return the empty string. So if there are multiple such windows, you're guaranteed that there will be always one unique minimum window in S. Alright, so if we want to solve this problem with brute force, then we can start from the first character and then iterate through the whole string and see if it contains all the characters from T. And the second time, start from the second character. So we'll iterate the entire string for every single character. So the time complexity is O(n) squared. But we want linear time. Now, if we want for substring problems, we usually use the sliding window technique. And this is similar to what we would do if we were to find out minimum window substring with eyeballs. So for example, if we were to eyeball these two strings, we'll have A, D, O, B, E, C, O, D, E, B, A, and C. Okay, so all right, first of all, let me open up a new comment section. Okay, and ABC. So first of all, we would iterate through the string and find if there is. So we will keep. So say we have a window that contains the required characters from T. Now, we're going to start from A. So A is one of the required characters, and then we move on to D. So we have A, D, O, B, E. We'll keep advancing until this window has all the characters that we need. So in this case, it's going to be A, D, O, B, E, C. And then we have O, D, E, B, A, and C. Okay, so now the window has all the characters, so A, B, C. We will use. So we'll only move the tail of the window forward if the window does not have all the required characters. So once we have all the required characters, we will move the head of the window forward, right? So this is what we would do if we were to eyeball this result, right? So if we are eyeballing this, we would see, okay, so now we have A, B, C. Now we want to get rid of this A and see if there is another A after this substring. That's what we would do if we want to look for another subwindow. So now this window is qualified, and so we will move the head forward. So this will become A, D, O, B, E, C, A. So now this window doesn't have the characters that we want, so we will move the head. Well, in this case, I'm talking about the tail here. So we move the tail forward to D, O, E, be A, and C. Okay, here we stop. We stop here because this window has all the required characters. Now it's time to move the head of the window. So we'll have moved to D. After we have moved to D, this window still has all the characters, all the required characters. So we'll keep moving it forward to B, C, B, and up until this point. So we have D, A, D, O, B, E, C, O, D, E, B, A, and C. Okay. And then we keep track of the minimum. We keep track of the minimum length. So the runtime of this is going to be linear time because we are only iterating through this array twice. Once with the head and once with the tail of the window. Okay. Okay, I spent 7 minutes explaining this. Okay, so I guess we can start. So first of all, we need a map, a hash map, to keep track of the number of appearances. To keep track of the numbers of the appearances of the numbers. So it's going to be character and then integer. We need a map and new hash map, character and integer. And then we're going to populate this. We're going to populate this map. So first of all, we don't actually care about the number of. We don't care about the frequencies of the characters from S. Let me finish this up. Okay, so we're gonna put temp and 0 because we don't care about the frequencies of the characters from S. Because eventually what we care about is the frequencies of the characters from T. I don't care how many O or Ds that S has. So for character temp T to char array. And this time we do care about, well, first of all, if map doesn't contains key. So if it contains temp, then this is what I feel I have an extra, yeah. So if it contains this key, then we can put temp and then map get temp plus 1. Okay, so if it contains this key, we'll increase the instance, we'll increase the number instance of that character because this character is from T. We want to keep track of how many characters from T that are in S. Okay, so else if it's not contained, then what the heck are we doing here? We'll just return empty string. Because it says that covers all characters in T. There's no such window in S that covers all characters. So if there is, as long as there's one character that is not contained in S, we will just get the hell out of here, right? There's no point to waste time. Now so after that, now it's time to create this window. So we need a start is 0 and then end is 0. Also, we need a minimum length, which is, so for now, we will make it integer max value, and then minimum start, so that we can keep track of the index, because later eventually we need to say this is returning string, so we need to return a substring, so we need to keep track of the index besides the minimum length. Okay, so now we have minimum start is going to be 0, and also we need another variable to keep track of, is like an indicator of whether we should move the tail or the head of the window. And the indicator is the total number of t. This is the total number of the shorter string. I mean, total number of the characters from the shorter string. All right, that's my 15 minutes marker. I passed 15 minutes. 18. Huh. Anyways, so yes, so we also need to keep track of that, and we'll just call it number of targets. Okay, and this is going to be the length of t. Okay, now while n is less than s dot, so we have to go through the entire string, of course. So n is less than s dot length. What we're gonna do is, okay, first of all, we'll record the current character that we iterate. So current is gonna be s character at end, and we are going to, so if map, so first of all we need to check if this is one of the required characters. If it is, we'll decrease the number of targets by 1, and then at the same time we'll update the frequency of this character. So okay, so map get, so map get current. If this is larger than 0, which means this is one of the required characters, then we will number of targets decrease by 1, and then at the same time we'll keep track of the value of this key. So it's going to be current map get current -1, which means that we have already iterated through this character. Now, so after this, we need to determine, so now we have done this operation, we need to determine if, so we need to determine right now if the window is qualified. Berkeley. We need to determine if the window is qualified so that we can move, whether to move the tail or the head of the window. Okay, so now, so while number of targets is equal to 0. So while, which means that, so while this condition, which means that, well, this is not JavaScript. Okay, while the window satisfies the requirement, we will move the we'll move the head, so which means the start of the window forward. So first of all, we need to check if the current length is the minimum length. So it's gonna be if minimum length is larger than start minus end. Now here, because since end is the current index, so for example end is 1 and start is 0, so 1 minus 0 is 1, but the length should be 2, right? So what we should do here is start minus 1 plus 1. So if that is the case, then we'll assign minimum length. We'll assign start minus 1 plus 1. Start minus n plus 1 to minimum length, and update minimum start, which is start. Okay, so after that, we'll need to determine if the head of the window, if the start of the window is a required character. So if map so if it is the required character, we need to update the number of targets, and also we need to update the frequency of this character, which means we have already moved the tail forward. So if map contains key. But hold up, before I do that, I'm going to use the tail multiple times. So I'm going to do character head is equal to s character at start. Okay, so if map contains key head, so if head is contained in the map, which means, wait, hold up, of course it's contained. So if map get head, so if the frequency right now is, so previously, since we will subtract 1 every time, we go through a character, so this time we should, the if condition is going to be map.get if this is larger or equal to 0. Then, so if this is larger or equal to 0, that means this is the required character, so we will update. By the way, let me check the time. So the number of targets will subtract 1. And then after that, we'll need to update well, it's pretty much the same thing. Put head map get head plus 1. Okay, so we're going to update this map, and after we, and then don't forget to update increase the start too. Okay, so now after that we need to, of course, we need to move the end forward, because that means right now the window is the window doesn't contain all the characters that we need, so we are moving the tail of the window. So I think we're pretty much done with this window operation, and then so at the end we're going to return if the minimum length is equal to integer dot minimum max value. If that is the case, we'll return empty string, because that means that the minimum length has not been touched unless the string is 2127 blah 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 that long. So I think we need to consider that case, but unless the string is that long. So how do we deal with that? But you know what? Let's not care about this for now. Else we'll return t, well, not t, dot substring and we need to start, and no, that's the minimum start, and then minimum start plus minimum length. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. How much time do we have? 8 minutes. So we should compile it and see if it works so that we have time to debug. Compile error. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, let's try the above example. See if that works. Did they say the range of the character? Okay. Runtime error. Wait, start minus n. What the heck am I thinking? End minus start. And start. So you know what I should have done is I did it wrong. I should, before I compile it, I should just read through the code. Okay, so hash map is correct, and then okay, so we have integer max value, minimum start, and then so we are going to see or get the current character, and I'll get the frequency of it. If it's larger than 0, that means that it's the required character, and then we'll increase it by 1, and then in the character and in the window we'll update it. Okay, so it looks pretty good. What the heck is going on? My eyes are hurting. I stare too much screen. My answer is this. What the heck? Okay, my answer is ADOBEC, and it's huh. So if math.getHead is larger and equal to 0, okay, I don't have much time left, only 3 minutes. Shit. Okay, so if it's equal to 0, right? If it's equal to 0, and it should be larger and equal to 0, and okay, let me calm down. Substring. Why is minimum start not updating? Minimum start is 0. So I feel like okay, so okay, let me calm down. Okay, let me calm down. Okay, put this. Okay, n is less than s dot length, and then current is at this here, and then if get current, if the number of appearances is the larger than 0, if it's larger than 0, then we should decrease it, right? We should decrease it. And then we'll update it. We'll update the character, the frequency of the character. And then while number of targets is equal to 0, and if minimum length is larger than n minus start plus 1, and n is, so if it's larger than that, then we'll assign n minus, and then head will be s dot character at start. And if map.getHead is larger and equal to 0, well, minus, okay, so should it be 0? I feel like it should be 0. So what will happen? I feel it should be 0, right? Because when there were 1 here, let's say it's 1, and then it's subtracted, so it's 0, and then if this is 0, then number of targets will be minus 1. Wait, hold up. Should plus plus, right? What the heck am I thinking? Okay. What the heck? Alright, I'll stop it. Okay, you know what? I'll submit it. B and C. Okay. All right. I didn't change anything after time's up. So accept it. Cool. Okay, so this is what we need. Yeah, so okay, well, finally. So we passed it, and so anyway, so the point of this is to use a sliding window, and use this window, and when the window is qualified, when a window contains what we want, we will move the head, otherwise we'll move the tail to advance. Anyways, thanks for watching, and happy coding. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.